Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. So I want to give a quiet gang shout out to Sylvia Camarena1, Brittany Bazantes, Chantel, Renee, and Peyton. I love you guys all so much, and thank you so much to everyone who tries to make it to these videos. So we're going to use the BURANO Deluxe Polygel kit. This is actually not a new kit. I've used this kit in the past before. If you guys want to see that video, it will be linked in the cards. I'm just going to do a quick unboxing. You have a card here with some information about if you have any issues, how to contact them. And inside this little booklet, there's a bunch of tips about how to do your nails, how to use the dual forms that are included in the nail forms. So one thing I love about the BURANO kits is that they give us clear nail forms, and I think these are really good for using polygel. When it comes to sculpting a polygel nail, you do really want the bottom side to get a good cure on the form. So that's where these clear forms really come in handy. And I do have another video using this exact kit and using the nail form, so if you guys want to see about that, I'll have it linked too. So this kit comes with slip solution, which, oh my god, I'm so happy about that. It seems like a rarity these days. Of course, you get the base and top coat. There were 3 chunky glitters included as well, purple, silver, and blue glitters. And then you get these rhinestones. I really love these whenever I get these in a kit. They come in handy, especially the 3 different sizes, the small, the large, and then the medium size. And then you have 4 different colors, some AB, pink, blue, and crystal clear stones. So these are the dual forms that you get with this kit. They do have this Empress curve, but they are very long. I actually was really intrigued and interested in using these, but I decided to use tips today. You also get a polygel brush with a scraper tool on the other side. I really never use the scraper tool, but this brush is actually a good brush. I ruined the brush when I put it back inside the cap. When I went to reach for it later, the hairs were all frayed because I put it back inside the cap incorrectly. And then you have a 100-180 grit hand file. So these are all the colors swatched. The 2 colors that are called Magic Orange and Magic Purple, those are thermal, so they're going to go from this color to white, and they're kind of on the jelly side when they're spread out on the nail, so it kind of looks like a natural nude almost, or just a complementary milky white on the nail. It's really interesting, but it's definitely more on the translucent clear side. I end up using Magic Orange today on my nail bed so we can see what this looks like. I'm super excited I finally got to use this color. So these are all the glitters I'm using. I'm using a bunch of butterflies and fall leaves. This is going to be my first fall set. I'm so excited. Fall just literally crept up on us. Are you guys excited for fall? Do you have any fall looks planned? I'm going to try to do a bunch of fall looks. This is actually a recreation of a look I did last year, except I did it with acrylic in that video, and I think I used forms. So this time I'm going to use polygel and tips. So these tips that I'm using, I technically use these as display tips most of the time. I really never use them on the nails anymore because I find issues using these types of tips with my sidewalls. So I don't really recommend these for use on a client or use on yourself, but this is kind of all I had right now as far as super long tips. So I'm carrying these on with base coat gel. This video is not going to go into detail about how to prepare your natural nails to prevent lifting. I actually did an updated prep routine in my most recent upload, so I'll have that video linked if you want to know how to prevent lifting and have your nails last a really long time. So with this type of method, you don't have to cure the tips on like I do. You can just glue them on with glue if you prefer. But I like using base coat gel to put my tips on or my full cover nails on because it lasts such a long time compared to glue. I'm also gonna just cut down the length. I'm trying to turn these into a coffin shape. I try to make sure that they're the same length. The pinky nail is way shorter. That's just how these tips are. So I'm gonna turn this one into a stiletto nail by the end. So something I highly recommend you guys do if you don't want super bulky wide nails is to kind of etch this tip. The tip is very thick. It's a super thick plastic, and you want to kind of blend it into the natural nail a little bit, and also reduce the thickness and bring it in because it's so wide. Even though it fits your nail from sidewall to sidewall, if you're trying to get a really nice sleek coffin look, this is going to help with that. So I'm just using a sanding band to run over the nail and etch it out, and then once the nail is white from the etching, I can really get a good idea of the shape. I'm also going to use my hand file to bring it in even further and just have a little bit more control. I'm using this sanding band on a really high speed. I think it's 40,000 RPM on this e-file that I'm using. But if you don't want to go that fast, you really don't have to. I just do that because I'm comfortable going that fast. Sometimes going faster with the e-file helps reduce the skipping that can happen, if you know what I mean. Sometimes the drill bit can just skip over the nail and you feel like you kind of lost a little bit of control. And if you don't want to use the e-file at all, this step can be done with the hand file. So after that, I just kind of like wiped away all the dust. And now I'm going to go in with base coat gel on the tip of my nail, and we're going to use this as the glue to hold down all of my glitter. And I'm just going to be randomly placing these all around the tips of all my nails and then flash curing as I go.
With you, boy, you won't give me too much chances. I don't care, I'm fine, I'm fancy brighter. Yeah, yeah, oh boy, I'm telling you goodbye, I'm telling you goodbye. Yeah, oh boy, I'm telling you goodbye, I'm telling you goodbye. Chances I don't care, I'm fine, I'm fancy brighter. Yeah, yeah, oh boy, I'm telling you goodbye, I'm telling you goodbye. Yeah, oh boy, I'm telling you goodbye, I'm telling you goodbye.
So after I cured all of that in the lamp, I'm going to use some of the slip solution, and this container actually came with another Burano kit that I reviewed recently. And I'm just going to start putting this magic orange right on the nail bed and smoothing it down like an ombre, and it was so easy to work with. The formula is really nice, it's really consistent. It wasn't streaky or splotchy or bubbly. I really liked it, and I'm just going to blend this down. It's okay for me, it's okay if it's covering the glitters a little bit. That's kind of what I wanted it to do. And then I'm going to flash cure in between each finger, because polygel can move if it's left alone for way too long, especially with the thumbs. Your thumbs are like turned to the side most of the time. So to prevent that from moving, I'm going to flash cure. Because I used another layer of base coat gel to seal all of these glitters down, the tip of the nail is pretty thick already. After I blend this bead of magic orange down, it's pretty much already built up to a pretty good shape, but I'm just gonna add a little bit more of clear polygel on the tip. Some of these nails actually didn't even need that much clear polygel, so I just off screen applied another layer of base coat gel to finish like capping and blending both of these products together. With polygel, whenever you find that your brush is getting sticky, you're just gonna need to wipe it off on the paper towel, and then make sure your brush is always wet with some sort of slip solution. You can use base coat gel as slip if you want to, but that's gonna help create a barrier so that your brush does not continue getting sticky from the polygel.
Giving up, letting go, times when you might feel compelled, looking down from the heights that we have built all by ourselves. And there is fear of the unknown, but we cannot lose control when we feel like the world is against us. Now which way do we go is a question to ask. There are so many choices that it's hard not to pass. What is real and what is fake?
So this is the clear I'm using. This is one from Model 1s. I like this one a lot because it's really runny, and I feel like it's super crystal clear because of that. So I'm just applying a little bit on the tip, and I'm gonna blend it back into the orange magic bead and then blend it down the nail. And that's it for capping. I just do that to all of the fingers, and I just keep checking from the side to make sure the side profile is built up how I want it to look. And now I'm just going to do the final filing. This is a ceramic smooth top bit that I got from a Macart. It was like a kit for a really small handheld e-file. I don't really use that e-file, but the bit that it came with, I am obsessed with. I use this bit non-stop, and it's just really good. I feel like it's great for all types of things. You can use it for takedown. It's like the perfect amount of grit. It's not too coarse, but it's coarse enough to file straight through whatever I needed to go file through.
I just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus, I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head. I just need to clear my head.
So I'm just turning this pinky nail into a stiletto because I realized it is just way too narrow and it did not fit with the other nails. So I'm just gonna use my bit to kind of do the bulk of that, and then I'll use my hand file to finish.
And we may have some history, but we don't have to repeat it. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I'm gonna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus, I can't forget.
Now finally, I'm just going to do a quick top coat with the top coat that came in the kit. What you guys are seeing now is how that magic orange looks when it's warm. So it's definitely kind of like on the clear side. You can see those glitters very well on my finger. They're not really covered up or anything by the product. And when it was time for me to try to like make the color come back, I did have to put my hands in the freezer. Cold water wasn't really doing it, so this is not a super sensitive color change, and that's something I observed the last time I used this product and tried to use the color change. I had to put my hands in the freezer, so So after curing and sticking my hands in the freezer, they turned this really pretty like orange, kind of like jelly shade, and I really love it. It actually stayed this way long enough for me to get these shots outside, so it wasn't like in a rush to turn back white. It did kind of towards my cuticle area where my body heat is start turning back clear, but I kind of expected that, and I do like how it looks. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to my patrons for keeping this channel going. I love you guys all so much. Please have an amazing day or night, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Love you, bye.